Hey guys, what's up? How are you? I hope you guys are having a good one. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a bunch of makeup products that I'm practically done with. And I also included some fragrances as well, just so you guys know the 411 on these guys. So I've done about 5 or 6 other videos like this in the past. I'll leave my playlist down below in the description box if you guys want to see my progress on anything. But basically these are products that are tried and true to me, that I enjoy, that I love, that are in my pretty much daily makeup routine, and I almost pretty much cannot live without. You guys know I love purchasing new makeup, testing out new items when it comes to really anything and everything. But I also love using obviously the products too, and you know that I have a decent amount of goodies, so when I consistently use one specific item and you can see significant progress on it, you know it holds a very special place in my heart. I have my so I have my little bin here, and I think that most of these products are actually products you haven't seen major progress on. Like I might have showed them to you in other videos, maybe not. Okay, so first up we have my absolute favorite foundation ever, which I want to say Charlotte Tilbury might be discontinuing, because I checked on Sephora said and there's literally only 5 shades left, and I could have sworn when this was a more popular product there were more shades to choose from. So it always happens to me, like I love something and then boom, out of nowhere, never again to be seen. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Your Light Dream Skin Foundation. So I literally have a baby drop left. Pretty much finished off this whole bottle for the most part. I've worn this in so many different videos. I've worn it to my proposal at where was it? Rockefeller Center. Like it's just a great day-to-day like foundation product that has medium to almost full coverage if you have dry skin. This will be your bestie. It's so gorgeous on, and I just love it. It doesn't feel like it's tight on my face. It doesn't feel like it's hard to blend out. It sits so beautifully on the skin, and even when it wears off throughout the day, it wears off evenly. It's not like one part of your face has more foundation than the other part. It just looks great every single time. I usually like to set this in with a powder. I'll show you guys the powder next, but even on its own, it gives you a nice glowy finish, but not in an overdone way where you can see every texture and pore on the face. It's everything to me. The next item that I have here is a powder. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder, which might seem ironic because it's kind of like this is a super glowy product. I have dry skin. I never use matte products, but this for some reason just works well. You can see here that I hit pan, and I wouldn't say it was the hardest to hit pan, but it wasn't the easiest either. Like you get a decent amount of product in here, and then I mentioned to you guys last time there's like a little flap here. You can put your lashes here if you're kind of traveling to kind of keep it in here as like a case. But this gives you very light coverage. It sets the face in super nicely. I typically use this when I go in for a full coverage look, but if I'm going for like a light coverage look, I'll use maybe a little bit of a concealer and then set my face in with this so my face looks even when it comes to like color, and it's not like, sometimes I have redness in my skin, so it's not like red and like, you know, it's just like one even shade. I would say because I use more luminous style type of foundations or tinted moisturizers, or even if a foundation is not luminous but I use like an oil underneath and then like a hydrating mist, I found that this paired really well with everything and anything that I used, and it never looked drawing on the actual skin. So I absolutely think this is amazing with a full coverage look, with a light coverage look. It picks up evenly on the brush too, and it just sets the makeup in so nicely, creates this really nice smooth base, and it helps with pores as well. So obsessed with that one. The next product that I have here is from Natasha Denona. Like, what is up and what is going on? So this is the Mini Love eyeshadow palette. So I actually have all of her little ones, all of her 5-pan palettes, and this right here is my absolute favorite from when it comes to the little ones. I just love the color story. I just get a ton of use out of this one. I typically focus on these 3 shades. Honestly, these 2 shades I actually don't use as much as I would like. I actually have first impression up on this if you guys want to check that out. I did it like over a year ago. But this is the shade I hit pan on, just a little baby pan. That right there, I want to say is in the shade Love. It's such a gorgeous kind of like duochrome pinky yellowy type of color. It's so pretty, and it's more of like a metallic finish. So typically what I'll do is use these in the crease and then this on the lids, and that tone and shade I feel like just looks so pretty on the actual eyes. no matter what your skin tone is and no matter what eye color you actually have, it just brings out such beauty that I really can't put words on it. So I won't say that I hit pan super quickly, but not too slow either. I feel like I used it a decent amount of time, so it made sense to kind of hit pan after the amount of times that I use this. So, and you do get a lot on here actually, because you just need very little. So I could just imagine how many times I actually chose this one over other palettes. Anytime I needed just a palette that was quick, fast, easy, I knew what I was going for. This is really what I reached for. I also knew how I look in it, so I always felt confident wearing this. And then also I just felt like this went with just so many different like outfits that I wore. I actually wore this on my birthday this past year, my 30th birthday, and I would not change it for a thing. So love this one. If you guys are contemplating on Natasha's little ones, the Mini Love original one is my absolute favorite. Okay, next I have these two mists here. So first up I have the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist 4-in-1 mist. For me, it was really hard to find a mist that was dewy enough where it kind of gave me the most beautiful glow, but also didn't make me look like I was super beyond oily, because I've tried other mists in the past where it's kind of like, whoa, you look just oily, like it was not, like I was not feeling it. But with this one, I feel like it kind of gives me everything I need. Even if I use it with the Charlotte Tilbury kind of like a glowy foundation, these two paired together looked very dewy and fresh on the skin and didn't look way too much when it comes to dewiness. It was not overboard. So I love using it with that. It's also really nice to use on top of the Fenty powder. It just gives you the most perfect glow to the actual skin. And it sets everything in really nicely too. So for that also, I find it hard sometimes to find a mist that sets and actually gives me the dewy effect. This really does both and I really enjoy it. Plus the mist on it is super nice. It's really fine and you don't need way too much sprays to kind of cover up the full face. So I love this. Once it's done, I probably would repurchase. I have a few other mists that I want to go through, but this has been an absolute love of mine. Obsessed. Then I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is just a good go-to classic mist for me. I find that it doesn't give me such a major dewy effect, but it doesn't mattify either. I say this a lot, but it's just like that good middle ground. Like it's not too much of anything. It sets everything in super nicely, and I know I can count on this if I just want my makeup to last. And I don't want to necessarily go for such a dewy like effect and look. If I really want that, I have that with this. I think that they actually make a bigger one than this one, but I just have this size, which is a 1.1 fluid ounce. It's more than enough, so it does last a long time. I will say the spray on this is actually not as smooth as the one on the Fenty one, so you know, I wish they would kind of fix that, or maybe I just got a defective one, but it's like boom right away. So you really have to hold the Charlotte Tilbury one away from your face. But I also actually like using these two before I apply my foundation if I'm going in with that, or a tinted moisturizer just to kind of prep. But I'll usually just go in with an oil or a primer and then with my foundation. But I have the option to use these two, which they also create a really nice base, like a very refreshing base to work with. Okay, then I have these two glosses here. So first up I have this Ofra one. I'm pretty much more than halfway done with this. This is in the shade Luminous Lips Clair. So I had like a nude lip on my lips once, and then I used this, so then I put the applicator back inside, so it kind of created this like nudish type of color, but it's really the clear gloss. Still kind of comes across as pretty clear on the lips. I love Ofra's glosses. I feel like they're very underrated. They're very like comfortable and hydrating. I would say they're somewhat like a hybrid between like an actual gloss and an oil. So nice and luscious on. So I love this one. It's my car gloss, so I pretty much just keep it in the car, and whenever I'm out and about and I need something for the lips, I always reach for this one. So solid stuff. And then I also have this right here by Tarte. This is pretty much on its last leg. Like even when you take out like the applicator, you see like there's actually, ooh, it actually looks like there's even less product left. So I love this. This is in the shade Fresh Pressed, and it's one of their glosses. I don't even know, but this is like more of like an oil-based type of gloss. It also makes your lips look nice and luscious and very juicy, and it adds a little hint of like a nude color. So they have this color actually in a bunch of other shades to choose from, but this has been a favorite of mine for a very long time, and I find it to be just amazing for the lips. Then we have this eyeliner here, which is from the Sephora Collection brand. So I spoke about this in my recent Sephora haul. I love this. I think it's amazing. It's in the shade Black Matte. It's like 13 bucks. Ugh, and it's pretty much done. One sec. Okay, so the little piece just fell out, but I pretty much just have this little baby black piece of liner left. and it pretty much had this much product inside. I used this, or used this every single day. Now I can't really use it because it's pretty much on its last leg. Maybe one more use out of this one and then I'm done. But this is just a good black liner. It doesn't irritate the eye. It lasts throughout the whole day. And I really feel like it's the kind of liner that isn't too stiff where it's hard to blend out, but it's also not as slippery where it's kind of all over the place. It really lasts for forever. So I love using this for my waterline. I tightline with this and I use it on my upper lash line and it works out amazingly. So they have this color, which is the black matte, yeah, in 01, and then they have a bunch of other shades to choose from, but solid liner. Next, I have this loose powder here by Huda Beauty. This is a loose powder I spoke about many times as of recently. So I have mine in the shade Pound Cake. I think she has 4 or 5 other shades to choose from. So you can see here, I have this much left, but it was pretty much filled to the top. This is such a solid loose powder. A little bit more on the thicker side, but I found that I actually enjoy thicker loose powders because I feel like it kind of creates a little bit of a layer on my under eye area since I have bags. So this kind of creates a layer so it doesn't look like bags under my eyes and then my face. You know what I'm saying? Like once you apply this, like your face just looks kind of like one. You can't see any bags. You can't see any form of tiredness, if I may say so, like under the eye area. So I love this. I've tried a few other loose powders that are thinner and I find that they don't like actually create that layer. So I keep going back to this one. I know that the Maybelline Fit Me one is somewhat of a dupe to this because it's a little bit thicker too. But yeah, I think this is awesome. I also like to set my entire face with this as well. It helps a lot with pores. I just pretty much put it on from here to like all the way here, all over my face almost, I would say, especially where there are visible pores. I leave it on for like at least 2-3 minutes and then kind of like wipe it away. So your face really looks airbrushed and kind of almost like you have a filter on when you do that with this. Such a good one. I'm obsessed. The next item that I have here is a brow product. I go through brow products like absolute water, but this is by Benefit. It's the Precisely My Brow product in number 4. I use this one, the ABH one, and then the CoverGirl one. This right here just has like a little baby bit left. It's actually what's in my brows today, and I love this. I don't think that it's too slippery, but I also don't think that it's too stiff. For me, I like it when it's right in the middle there, just like with liners too. So yeah, and also like I feel like this doesn't look like Sharpie brows on, even if you go like heavy-handed. So I think it's a pretty easy formula to work with. And then there's a spoolie on the other side. I've repurchased this numerous amounts of times. Then I have 2 blushes, which I know these are blushes that I've actually shared with you guys in the past, but I have significantly more progress than I showed you guys last time. So firstly, I have the Tower 28 blush here in Magic Hour. I've spoken about this a bazillion times. I'm just gonna run through this quick. This is the most beautiful cream blush ever. I love the formula because it's super easy to blend out. You can go heavy-handed, but it still looks good, or you can go light with this. Very comfortable on the skin. It doesn't like tug. Great on top of foundation. Nice to wear on your actual skin without anything on it. I think this is a good classic go-to shade for pretty much year-round. So I literally have like an absolute dot left, like very little. And then recently I purchased this one that came in a kit on Sephora side. It came with this and then a gloss. Here, one of the Tower 28 glosses in Pistachio. So I have 2 brand new goodies to play with, and the blush actually is in Magic Hour. So the same shade that I'm pretty much finished off with, I have a brand new one. So I'm not gonna dip into this one yet before I finish this, but it's such a satisfying feeling to finish off a cream blush and to know that like, hey, this is really tried and true to me, and to have like a new one, like I don't just repurchase products, especially like a cream blush like this, you know? So you know this means a lot. Then I have this Patrick Ta blush here as well in She's Passionate. Here is what this one is looking like. I've shown this to you guys so many times, but I pretty much wear this 9 out of 10 times whenever I'm wearing blush. It's typically this one right over here. It took me a minute to kind of go through this product, but then once I started hitting pan, it just kind of went quicker. I love this one because it's like the most perfect pink colored blush. It goes with every single look. It's more like a matte finish, but it doesn't look like flat on the face in a way. Builds up beautifully, lasts throughout the whole entire day, is super easy to blend out. Like I feel like sometimes with blushes, like you have to like really work it. With this, you apply 1, 2, 3 and you're done. And yeah, I think it's fantastic. I've tried other blushes from this line. I thought they were good, but I wasn't that obsessed. But this shade, She's Passionate, really hits super differently. Okay, then I have this product here from NYX Cosmetics. This is the Brow Glue. I finished off half of this. I want to say this is more like a thicker, goopy, clear gel for the brows. I like to use this on its own, or I use it when I fill in my brows just to kind of create a little bit more dimension and to kind of set the brows in place. I think this is fantastic because it also kind of creates like a thickness to the brows. I don't even know how to explain it, but like when you apply it, like you'll see. And your brows some way, somehow just end up looking fuller. I also like the applicator on this because it's like a small little one, and it really just is the perfect size for the brows. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's like perfection. And then I have my palette here with Ofra Cosmetics. So this is the palette they gave me when I first started kind of working with them, after I picked out the shades, and then they kind of created a palette. So I've had this in my life for a significant amount of time before the actual launched release. So I've been using this so much. So this is like my original one. I love this. It's available on Ofra's site if you guys were wanting it. It's not limited edition. You can get it anytime. But I pretty much hit pan on the bronzer, which is what I have on my skin today, and the shade Marshmallow. This is the most beautiful pinky tone color. It's so stunning. I wear that one a lot. So you get 4 metallics on top, 4 mattes, blush, highlighter, and bronzer. The highlighter is also so good, and the blush, yeah, the whole thing is just so nice. So yeah, these are the 2 shades that I probably wear the most, even though I wear a lot of the other ones too, but I typically focus on these 2 when I pop in this palette, because bronzer, I'm always bronzing up my face, and then this shade here just goes with so many different looks that I honestly keep surprising myself with, you know. So I love this little one. That's pretty much it when it comes to the makeup items. Obviously fully obsessed with these goods. I will definitely continue to use them till they're pretty much, you know, done. And then now I wanted to just share with you guys three fragrances I'm pretty much done with as well. So I mentioned to you guys in the past that I purchased the small sizes of fragrances just to kind of feel it out, see how it's on my skin, and if I really want to invest in the full size, I could from there. But because I have a decent amount of fragrances to go through, I just always feel like the small size is good enough. It's easy to kind of grab and go with, and also usually after like the small size, I'm like okay not having it again in my life. I'm like, you know what, I got my quick fix in a way sometimes, and then I'm ready to move on to something else. But if I really am fully obsessed and in love by the time the bottle finishes, then I repurchase it again, which rarely happens, but you know when it happens, it's really good. So this right here is the Moschino Toy 2 perfume. This really here has like an absolute literal drop left. It's almost done. I don't know where the bare head actually is. Love this a ton. So it has thousands of reviews on Ulta site, pretty much at a 5-star. It's in the floral family type. It has like a woodsy / musk scent to it. Also has mandarin orange, apple, peony, white currant. So I feel like it has like a good combo of musk, but also like lighter scents as well. And I just think, smell it? Yeah, I just think it's really good. It has also like a little bit of a purey orange type of scent to it too. I loved wearing this mainly for the nighttime. Also kind of smells like herbal essences shampoo a bit, but I loved wearing this for the nighttime. The compliments I got with this one was next level, and it lasted such a long time on the actual skin. Like it's a scent that you need maybe 1 or 2 sprays with, and it lasts throughout the night. So love that. And I have this right here from MAC. This is the Triquatic perfume. Also, I have a small size of this one. This hit home for me real quick. This is more of like a fresh scent. It has like lotus, blue, cedar, I want to say. Yum. This is like a good classic, very timeless scent. It's a little bit more on the cleaner side as well. I would wear this for the day and for the night. It's so beautiful on. I didn't expect it because I know this has been around for a while, and I'm like, okay, like, is this really good? But let me tell you, it takes it up and kicks it up a notch for me. And after I finish this one, I probably will purchase the full size. And then the next one that I have here is this right here by Juicy Couture. It's just a small size. It's one of the pink perfumes here. I think this is from their Play line by Juicy Couture. So this I would say is a fantastic layering scent. They have this one, they have the blue one, I think the yellow one, and the green one as well. So I have the blue one, also really good, but I did pick up the pink one first. This is in the floral family. I like floral scents, as you guys can see. This has raspberry, coconut, peony, amber, fluffy musks, a little bit of sandalwood, and because this line has other scents too. Oh, it smells so good. How do you describe these things? Like, this is a fantastic layering scent, but it's so, so good on its own too. It's a little bit more on the playful side. So I would say I wore this more during the day. Just a very easy go-to scent, like for brunch or for if I'm out and about in the city. This was perfect. For the night, it wasn't one that I gravitated towards, but perfect day scent, I would say. Love that, and I probably would purchase a full size. But that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope you also enjoyed me including perfumes as well. Let me know if you guys would want me to incorporate more of this as time goes. But I'm looking forward to your comments. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in my next video.